Tonight, battle ready. After thousands of airstrikes failed to stop militant attacks, Israel masses troops at the border and steps up raids. Middle East mission. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice is headed to the region. What can the U.S. do that will make any difference? Baby bonus, the new rewards of motherhood for one group of women. They're getting paid to have more children. And our person of the week, the American who could well win the Tour de France. He has a hip so bad he walks with a limp. But oh boy, can he ride.
From ABC News headquarters, this is World News with Charles Gibson.
Good evening. There are signs tonight that the war in the Middle East could get wider. Israel has placed additional troops along the Lebanese border. Civilians in South Lebanon have been warned to leave their homes and go north. And Israel has called up thousands more reservists. 10 days of intense bombing in southern Lebanon has not stopped Hezbollah fighters from firing rockets into populated areas like Haifa. Indeed, Haifa was hit again today. Hezbollah seems to have Haifa zeroed in. The missiles hitting there have a range of about 30 miles. To reach Haifa, they have to be fired from near the border. Israel had hoped to force the launchers back out of range of Haifa solely with airstrikes. It obviously hasn't worked yet. And so we start tonight in Haifa with ABC's Dan Harris. Dan?
Charlie, good evening. The fact that Hezbollah continues to terrorize this city, injuring 3 more people today, may only strengthen the hand of those who argue that a ground invasion is necessary.
First came the sirens, then the explosions, then plumes of smoke rising from the heart of the city. En route to where one missile hit, we saw people running to a bomb shelter. On the scene, chaos. A building in a residential area had taken a direct hit. One woman was loaded onto an ambulance as rescue workers screamed, "Where's her leg? Bring her leg."
The missile that punctured the roof of this post office hit at around 1 o'clock local time. It could have been much, much worse. The post office had just closed a half hour before that.
The missiles just keep coming despite a sustained Israeli offensive, mostly from the air. Some say that simply won't be enough to eliminate all of Hezbollah's estimated 10 to 12,000 missiles.
It's almost impossible to hit enough of them to actually make life safer in the northern part of Israel.
So the Israeli military is now preparing to expand its ground operations. Today, the army called up thousands of reservists who reported for duty in northern Israel. One former Israeli general worries a full-scale ground invasion could backfire.
There is a very delicate question of how much force we should use in order to be effective on one hand and not to create a damage not only to the people but also to their hearts and minds in regard to the future.
Tonight, the Army Chief of Staff said Israel will conduct only, quote, limited ground operations. That, we're told, means larger and more aggressive incursions than Israeli forces have carried out in the past few days, moving across the border to root out Hezbollah weapons and trenches.
Those fights have proven deadly for the Israelis. They have lost 6 soldiers in recent days. What the Israelis may be trying to do now, some say, is making sure that the next time they face Hezbollah on the ground, they have more firepower. Charlie?
Dan Harris reporting tonight from Haifa. The Bush administration today opened a new chapter in its response to the conflict. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice announced that she will be going to the Middle East on Sunday to look for a way to resolve the crisis. But even before she leaves, a disclaimer. Nothing will happen quickly. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Martha Raddatz.
Despite growing pressure for a ceasefire from several European allies and the UN Secretary General, the Secretary of State said today that is not on the table.
A ceasefire would be a false promise if it simply returns us to the status quo.
Rice will meet early next week with Israel's prime minister and the Palestinian leader. She will then head to Rome, where she will meet with leaders from Europe and Lebanon. On the table, the possibility of sending an international stabilization force to southern Lebanon to stop Hezbollah from attacking Israel. Rice said the U.S. would not contribute troops, but it would have to be a sizable force.
It has to be a force robust enough to do the job, to make sure that the conditions are in southern Lebanon are such that the reason for the violence has been dealt with.
As for the humanitarian situation, Rice said today that she was pleased that the Israelis had agreed to open up a corridor in Lebanon for relief supplies. She said the U.S. would be contributing direct humanitarian aid to ease the suffering of civilians. Secretary Rice is clearly lowering expectations for this trip. She also gave no indication when or if the U.S. would ask Israel to stop its military operations in Lebanon. Martha Raddatz, ABC News, the White House.
Meanwhile, inside Lebanon, as Martha mentioned, there is a humanitarian crisis of major proportions, and it's growing. More than 3,000 Israeli airstrikes have flattened entire neighborhoods. More than 330 people have been killed and more than 1,300 wounded. No place is safe. Anything that looks like it could be of use to the enemy is a potential target. ABC's David Wright begins his report in southern Lebanon.
Israel has tightened its grip so hard on Lebanon that parts of the country are now choking. In the southern city of Tyre, Israel's bombers are so relentless, it's not safe to give the dead a proper burial. Today, local residents put 84 corpses into a mass grave before heading inside for cover. Israel is dropping leaflets all along the border, telling 400,000 Lebanese villagers to get out. But many have ignored that advice, fearing worse on the roads. Others refuse to leave their homes out of principle. We will not surrender to psychological warfare, scoffed this man. But thousands of Lebanese are fleeing north. This woman left her entire family behind. My heart is pounding, she said. I'm so scared. I don't even know where my family is. An estimated 500,000 people are now homeless, and half of them are children. Getting relief supplies where they're needed most is difficult and dangerous. Israel has shattered much of the infrastructure, not just the roads and the bridges, but gas stations, power lines, factories, and farms. This warehouse just south of Beirut Airport was still smoldering when we visited today. It's a Procter & Gamble warehouse full of canned goods, soap, and shampoo. Israel is also targeting trucks coming over from Syria on the grounds they might contain munitions. Today I took the minivan, said this driver, because I was afraid my larger truck would get shot at. Willing drivers are scarce. A shipment that used to cost $250 can now command 5 times that price. That means consumer prices are higher too, at a time when civilians can least afford it. Today, the Red Cross managed to get 24 tons of emergency food and medical supplies to that besieged southern city of Tyre. They got there, Charlie, in part with Israel's coordination and help.
ABC's David Wright again reporting tonight from Lebanon. Well, the Israeli and Lebanese governments are not talking to one another, but their citizens are on the internet, blogging and posting even while missiles are falling. An Israeli soldier wrote on a Lebanese blog that we saw, "I'm sending you my best wishes and hope that you and your family will be strong and be all right until this horrible situation will be over." And this from a Lebanese poster. "I can rest a little easier in this difficult time because I have found reasonable voices in Israel." One hopeful sign tonight in the Middle East. There is startling news here at home about the U.S. government's seeming inability to keep an eye on its military equipment. ABC News has obtained the results of an investigation that discovered how easy it is for sensitive technology to end up in the wrong hands. It's not only a security issue, though, it's also a serious financial problem. ABC's John Cochran reports.
For years, stores have made a nice profit buying and reselling things the Pentagon no longer wants, everything from tents to toilets. But only today did we learn how easy it is to obtain classified items that require protection in the interest of national security. Congressional investigators posing as defense contractors obtained $1.1 million worth of sensitive equipment.
If congressional investigators can buy this sensitive military equipment with false papers, that means anyone can, including terrorists.
Here's just a partial list. A digital signal converter used in naval electronic intelligence, 6 circuit cards used in computerized Navy systems, an all-band antenna used to track aircraft, 2 launcher mounts for shoulder-fired guided missiles, several kinds of body armor, and on and on.
This is a stupefying level of incompetence where we have sensitive military equipment being sold to people undercover.
Investigators posing as ordinary citizens also had no trouble buying sensitive items, such as 2 missile radar test sets, 12 microcircuits used in F-14 fighter aircraft.
Many of the sensitive items were marked with a special code, the letter D, which meant destroy this, do not sell it. Late today, the Pentagon told us, yes, there have been problems.
A Pentagon website invites prospective buyers to browse through excess property. Some items were not sensitive but were still sold at a huge loss to the taxpayer, such as X-ray equipment that cost $289,000. It was sold for $2,900. That's your money. Thousands of sensitive military items were sold. That's your safety. John Cochran, ABC News, Washington.
And still ahead on this broadcast, Panic City. Serial killers on the loose in one of the nation's largest cities, and residents are stocking up on guns and mace. Be fruitful and multiply for cash. Mothers getting paid to have more children. And our person of the week. He's close to winning the Tour de France, and he needs a hip replacement.
Catch that! No sweat!
When you sweat, mosquitoes just can't resist you. But Off Active is sweat resistant. It gives you proven off protection when you sweat. Protection against mosquitoes that may carry the West Nile virus. Sweat resistant Off Active keeps bugs off even when you sweat. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
If you've had a heart attack that reduced how well your heart pumps, hear this. Your heart medications may not be enough protection. Coreg is FDA approved to increase your chance of survival when taken over time. Adding Coreg to your current treatment can help prevent another heart attack. Coreg reduces your heart's workload to help it pump better. That should be music to your ears.
Coreg is not for everyone, including people prone to asthma, certain heart rhythm problems, slow heart rate, or liver problems. Once you start Coreg, you should continue as directed by your doctor. Patients who abruptly stop may experience chest pain or an increased risk of heart attack. In some cases, patients may experience dizziness or faintness when starting Coreg. You should avoid driving or hazardous tasks if this occurs.
Ask your doctor if Coreg is right for you. Adding Coreg adds cardio protection.
Campbell's tomato soup, possibilities. Tom's grilled cheese, Mom loves cheddar, goldfish for Jack thinks nothing's better. Tomato soup for everyone, good, wholesome fun, possibilities.
Are aches and pains keeping you up? Now there's a new PM that has you covered. Introducing Advil PM, the multi-pain relieving power of Advil plus a non-habit-forming sleep aid. New Advil PM. Stop hurting and start sleeping.
There is fear and panic in the city of Phoenix tonight. One serial killer on the loose would be bad enough, but police say 2 serial killers responsible for 11 murders are at large. Residents are going to great lengths trying to protect themselves. ABC's Bill Redeker tonight in Phoenix.
Every stall is taken at a local shooting range, and the sale of handguns is about to set a record. Robert Cunningham bought a 10-round 9mm pistol for his wife.
She wants one that's good for around the house, something safe, something small.
Joe Marr and his daughter Erin just grabbed the last 2 canisters of pepper spray.
It's scary. It's very nerve-wracking.
Can't blame you.
No.
We've just signed her up for a self-defense course also.
Sales of home security systems are through the roof. In only 11 months, the 2 suspected serial shooters have put Phoenix on high alert and high anxiety. Police say the so-called baseline killer and serial shooter have attacked more than 40 people, killing 11 of them, some of them at point-blank range.
It's scary because of the fact that they're unable to catch him.
That's the scary part.
I don't want to go out. I don't want to go by myself. I don't want to do nothing by myself. I always have to have somebody with me.
Professor James Allen Fox says the shooters are motivated by holding an entire city hostage.
It seems to be some degree of thrill. The thrill of getting away with it and the thrill of terrorizing a whole entire community.
Police have distributed a sketch of one of the shooters, and a tip line has received as many as 1,000 calls a day.
It might be him or...
But that's about all. Police have been criticized for releasing very little information. All that residents have been told is to stay alert.
We've just been encouraging people to be vigilant, to be cautious, to be careful.
Even police who have stepped up patrols say they are baffled.
In my 30 years on the Phoenix Police Department, this is by far the most serious set of crimes that I have seen occur.
And people here say they will continue to arm themselves until the killers are caught. Bill Redeker, ABC News, Phoenix.
National Guard troops went from house to house in St. Louis today, where a heat wave and power failure proved a deadly combination. 500,000 people are without air conditioning in the city after a second day of violent storms pounded St. Louis. The mayor has declared it a disaster area. And in New York, up to 100,000 people are without power, have been all week, and officials don't know why. When we return, raising a family for love or money, or perhaps a little of both.
My kids call me the finisher. Finish up in there.
Okay.
Finish your homework.
Yes.
Finish your vegetables. Something I thought I was finished with? Managing my acid reflux disease. I thought it was just bad heartburn, but my doctor said over time, stomach acid was damaging the lining of my esophagus. She prescribed Nexium, said I needed more than heartburn relief. My esophagus needed repair. One prescription Nexium pill a day not only relieves my heartburn, it healed erosions in my esophagus. So I don't just feel better, I am better. And with the Purple Plus program, I get advice on nutrition, exercise, even ways to save on Nexium. My doctor did say headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain could be side effects of Nexium, and other serious stomach conditions may still exist.
Talk to your doctor about the healing Purple Pill.
I tell him you shouldn't do anything halfway. Let's finish up.
If you're without prescription coverage and can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
My life is more than I expected, so it's a good thing there's Caltrate. It does more than I expected.
Introducing new Caltrate, now with more vitamin D. It helps keep bones strong and your colon healthy.
Bring it on.
New Caltrate, more than you expect.
If you're over 50 and have other risk factors, you already face a greater risk of a heart attack. Ask your doctor how Bayer Low-Dose can help prevent 1 in 3 heart attacks. Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen. She reduced her risk with Bayer, working wonders every day.
Dr. Robert Jarvik, inventor of the artificial heart. The average heart beats 2 billion times. The heart is amazing, but high cholesterol can lead to heart disease. Lipitor can help. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor significantly lowers bad cholesterol, 39 to 60%. If you have several common risk factors for heart disease, Lipitor is clinically proven to reduce your risk of heart attack. And more cardiologists surveyed said they'd prescribe Lipitor for their own families than any other cholesterol-lowering brand. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. They may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. It's your heart. Ask if Lipitor is right for you. Visit Lipitor.com for a free trial.
We all know there are dangers online for our kids. So what if you could monitor your kids' computer conversations right as they happen from wherever you are? Monday, new easy breakthrough technology you're going to love, even if your kids don't, on World News with Charles Gibson.
We have a story tonight about a different kind of family value. In the U.S., the average birth rate is about 2 children per woman. But in Russia, women these days have, on average, only 1, and the population is shrinking drastically. It's a trend that has grave implications for the country's future. The government thinks it has the answer. ABC's Claire Shipman reports from St. Petersburg.
Whatever shortages have plagued this great Russian nation, these
have always been in reliable abundance. Babies, row after row in that trademark sausage swaddle. Soviet women who produced 10 or more were mother heroes. But today, the average is barely 1 child per woman. The population decline stunning.
The country has been, in recent years, losing about 700,000 people per year.
The population expected to go from 140 million to 100 million by the middle of the century. Imagine the largest country in the world with a population approaching Vietnam's.
Russia has a unique problem, an extremely low birth rate, which is common in developed, educated countries, but also a mortality rate as high as some of the poorest countries in the world.
Russian men live on average only to age 59, thanks to a combination of poor health care and pervasive alcoholism. Russian President Vladimir Putin is so worried he's floating a surprise idea. Giving as much as $10,000 to mothers who have a second child. Along St. Petersburg's Neva River, we asked a group of women what they thought. Anna has 1 child.
$10,000, it's not so much, really.
Nina would like at least 2.
The main problem is money, and real estate is just too expensive.
It's their small apartment and a sense of uncertainty that are keeping Marina and Dennis from having a brother or sister for 14-month-old Sasha. We're going to wait a while to have another child, she says. For now, this is one valuable natural resource that may stay in short supply. Claire Shipman, ABC News, St. Petersburg.
And when we return, the American poised to make history, pedaling through the pain. Our Person of the Week.
World News with Charles Gibson and Person of the Week. Brought to you by Walmart.
I think the best prescription in life is having more time to enjoy it. So when I pick up my family's prescriptions at Walmart, I'm picking up a few extra minutes in my day. It's where I shop. So it just makes sense to pick them up while I'm there. And that gives us more time to get out and enjoy life.
The pharmacy at Walmart. So go ahead, script your life.
It's Crown Carpet's 43rd anniversary, and they're celebrating with savings up to 43% off store-wide. Carpet, vinyl, tile, wood, you name it. And Crown Carpets has it. The 43rd anniversary sale is going on now at both Crown Carpet locations. Don't you dare miss it.
Everyone will protect their eyes from sun damage like they protect their skin. Transitions lenses. They automatically adjust to changing light and block harmful UV rays and glare. So don't wait until tomorrow. The danger is here today, and so is the protection. Ask your eye care professional about transitions. Insist that your lenses come with a transition certificate of authenticity.
My name is Sarah. I've had a sleep problem. Actually, different problems. Sometimes I couldn't fall asleep, or I'd fall asleep and I couldn't stay asleep. My doctor suggested that I try Ambien CR, the latest Ambien. It does both. Helps me fall asleep and stay asleep. It's the only one with 2 layers. One dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep fast. The other dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. A good night's sleep makes a big difference.
Ambien CR is a treatment option you and your doctor can consider along with lifestyle changes and can be taken for as long as your doctor recommends. Until you know how Ambien CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Be sure you're able to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active again. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic. However, like most sleep medicines, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol.
Falling asleep and staying asleep. Both problems handled.
Ask your doctor about Ambien CR. Remember, that's CR for a good night's sleep from start to finish.
The latest look in fiber is showing up everywhere. All-natural Benefiber, the first fiber supplement that's tasteless and dissolves completely, so you can put it in whatever foods you fancy, even water. Benefiber, the latest look in fiber.
Next on the Northwest Only All Local newscast, we have renewed warnings about the heat, how criminals are taking advantage of the weather. Also, the search for a man who fired a gun at a woman during a road rage incident. Join us tonight at 6:30.
Finally tonight, our Person of the Week. One of the great sporting events, the Tour de France, is headed toward a dramatic climax this weekend. Unlike in past years when Lance Armstrong was a Terminator on wheels, the winner is in doubt. But one racer already has distinguished himself with an unprecedented comeback from injury and from near certain defeat.
I suffered from the beginning. I tried to hide it, but at the end I couldn't go, so that was the best I could do.
American cyclist Floyd Landis had been wearing the leader's yellow jersey in the Tour de France until Wednesday, when he plain ran out of steam. Runners call it hitting the wall. In cycling parlance, he bonked. The Outdoor Life Network commentator described it best.
And here's Floyd glued to the pavement and agonizingly struggling, 1,000 deaths.
Suddenly, Floyd Landis was out of contention, written off, more than 8 minutes behind the new leader. And even he was shaken for a moment.
I don't expect to win the Tour at this point. It's not easy.
But quickly, he thought better of that and said,
but I'll keep fighting. It's not over yet.
Fight he did. The very next morning, the rumor was Landis and his Phonak team were going to go for broke.
Word got around the peloton that we were going to do that, and a couple people came and told me, please don't do it. I told them, go drink some Coke, because we're leaving on the first climb if you want to come along.
And that's just what they did. The team manager constantly in Landis's earpiece.
Come on, Floyd, do it, it's your day.
From that first hill, Landis's team set a blistering pace that left the rest of the field in the dust.
Perfect, come on, Floyd, come on, that's a good job.
Landis's incredible determination was obvious. He made up more than 7.5 minutes and went from 11th to 3rd, amazing the commentators.
What a day this has been. In 34 years, I can't remember one quite like it.
That was unbelievable. Yep. Every pedal stroke, he was suffering, but never, ever gave up. That's the greatest ride we've ever seen in the history of bike racing on a single day.
There's something else you have to know about Floyd Landis. He has a bad hip that needs replacing, a very bad hip. Doctors compare it to a piece of rotten wood. He can't run. He walks with a limp, and it's so painful that he can only manage to get on his bicycle from one side. But once on, he is very, very fast.
Although, Floyd goes through a lot of pain every day when he rides his bicycle, his dream of winning the Tour de France is by far and away something that he will go through any amount of pain, any amount of training, any amount of sacrifice to get through.
Floyd Landis is a world away from where he grew up, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, a Mennonite family, no movies, no TV. As a teenager, he got his first bicycle, discovered racing, and he hasn't looked back. Today, his mom walks to the neighbors to watch her son compete in cycling's greatest test.
It's the hardest race in the world. I came here to win the race, and I'm not done fighting yet.
And so we choose Floyd Landis. It'll all come down to a final time trial tomorrow where cyclists race against the clock one by one. And he's got to make up 30 seconds. But time trials are his specialty. Win or lose, his is an extraordinary story, for soon after the race ends on Sunday, Floyd Landis will have a hip replacement. That is World News for this Friday. I'm Charles Gibson. For all of us at ABC News, have a great weekend. Good night.
Why are we Americans so gullible? Psychics promise the unbelievable, and we believe. A woman, not even pregnant, says she's having sextuplets, and we believe. Not you? Don't be so sure. Tonight, see how not to get taken on 2020's Duped in America.
Now on K2 News at 6:30, renewed warnings tonight about the heat, how criminals are taking advantage of the weather, and how some still aren't getting the message about leaving pets in the car. Plus, the search for a man who fired a gun at a woman during a road rage incident. Witnesses who say the suspect was driving like a madman. And he escaped by cutting off a GPS tracking unit. A month later, where police finally found a convicted rapist.
Live at 6:30, K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Deborah Knapp. Our top local story, Of course, our record-breaking heat at 104 degrees. It is the hottest day of the year so far in Portland. That's 11 degrees hotter than it was yesterday. And before we tell you about some of the problems it's causing, let's go to K2's Rhonda Shelby, who's giving us more on our weather, record-breaking temperatures today and what we can expect later in the weekend.
Well, Deb, we knew we were in trouble when the low overnight was 65 degrees, so we had a head start. And here's how the day shaped up. At 8 o'clock in the morning, we were at 76 degrees. It was already in the 90s by